Good morning, everyone. It's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking for Saturday 20th. I had a little chuckle to myself yesterday because somebody said my voice was crackly and I thought, what's cracking? Yeah, my voice apparently. So anyway, I've been up for a little while this morning. I've had a cup of tea and a cup of coffee, so I'm a little bit more lively today. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but feeling good. Okay, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. You know how I feel about that. I'm still pretty high on that. So also, if you haven't subscribed, then it's just a matter of pushing that little red button underneath that brings you to me, and I can bring you messages then. I'm using this beautiful Creatures Tarot, and I'm going to pull you a card from the Lay Vampire deck as your card today. I'm trying to learn them, and I'm thinking, you know, it's Halloween, and sorry, I'm shuffling out of view again. 2 seconds. Let's put you around a little bit. There we go. These are hard to shuffle, by the way, too. They're so beautiful. Look at them. Look. Aren't they lovely? There goes my tumble dryer. Excuse the beeping in the background. Anything I needed to say today? No, I don't think so. I want to say thank you again for your messages. Sometimes when I do readings, the Spirit tells me a certain thing, and I think that's a bit of an unusual thing. And in a personal reading, I would usually say it, but on here, I don't so much. But the few times I've said something, people have written back and gone, that message was for me. And I think Spirit is so incredibly clever at getting some messages across, especially when it's something really quite obscure that only applies to maybe 1 or 2 people. And I mean, thousands of people are watching the videos. It still seems really odd to me, but all right, we're ready to go. Okay, energy of the day. Now, I'm not reading this deck upside down. It's not meant to be read upside down because it has the writing to say what the card is across the bottom here. The card that's come up for you today is the Empress. Now, the Empress is a beautiful card because she's a card of being very, very much in a natural, beautiful element where you are so in touch with who you are. And this is where your creativity really starts to blossom or bloom. It can be the birth of a baby. It can be conception of a baby or an idea. It can certainly be bringing something new into your life. But it's something you've created, whether that would be, you know, on a mental or, you know, at a level where it's just a thought or an idea, but it can certainly be a very physical thing too. So for a lot of you, this weekend is a weekend when you're going to get an idea for something new, understand your direction, and head off into a new path, maybe. Okay, so the first card we've got out here is the Star, and that's beautiful following up the Empress. So we have 2 major arcanas here. So for some of you, weekend is going to be amazing. The Star talks about healing, you know, destiny, being brought in the right direction. It can be wishes coming true because very often you're following your path, your heart, your star. So very often it's about wishes coming to fruition. So here we have hope on this card here. So for some of you, whatever you've been putting out to the universe is about to come to you now. Okay, and then we have the Hierophant. That's 3 major arcanas in 3 cards. Now the Hierophant talks about, I mean, he's called the High Priestess in some decks. High Priest, whoops, the High Priest. It can be about structure, big organizations. It can talk about stability, you know, making something solid. With the Empress and the Star here, it feels to me like some of you are solidifying plans in your life to move forward. So this could be a relationship, but it could be related to just having your ships coming in, having your house in order is what they're saying, having your ducks in a row, that type of thing. And it feels like to me some of you have been trying to perhaps do this for a while, and now you have this real clarity around what this looks like for you. So whether this is, you know, as I said, about relationship, work, job, business, whatever, it's almost like you've gained this idea and this beautiful clarity about how everything is supposed to fit into your world. And you've got everything in order now. But it's a structural order. So I'm thinking for some of you, your world may have been a little bit turned upside down lately. And maybe you've had to start to sort of pull everything in a direction that suits you. Okay, so then we have the Three of Wands. Now the Three of Wands talks, in the traditional deck, it shows a man looking out towards bringing his ships in, which is funny because I've just said that and the cards seem to always do this. So this is about being able to now look forward. So I feel like some of you have perhaps been looking back at the past. Your life's maybe been in a little bit of a turmoil, but now it's like you have clarity, you've got structure, you've got this beautiful energy of this Empress and the Star, which is hope, and somehow or another it's like you've pulled it all together and you're looking forward now. I really like that because that says to me that you've either stopped dwelling on a past relationship, maybe stopped dwelling on losing a job, not being working, whatever, but it's almost like you've just brought everything in together and you're ready to sort of push it out there. Beautiful. And then we have the Five of Wands. Now the Five of Wands can talk about conflict. It can be external conflict, but in this particular reading, it feels to me like you're coping with internal conflict. And I like this because it's like you're putting the negativity behind you now. I like that a lot in line with all these other cards because it says to me that in order for you to move forward, you had to somehow understand how you self-sabotage through negative thinking. And somehow or another, you've really understood what that is now and you've learned to move forward on it. I always talk about recognizing your own value. So we have the Justice card. So you're bringing things back into balance. This is what this is all about. So it could be that you have severed something else to move forward here. You've sort of put aside your negative thinking. You've put aside what's been holding you back. And I see you being just propelled forward now with this Three of Wands. Now, the Justice card talks about an equal give and take. It talks about understanding that life is supposed to be fair. Now, I know not everything is fair, and I'm sure that people will agree with me on that. But there are certain things we can ensure that people or places or situations are being fair to us. So it's like you sort of saying, I'm not going to accept this anymore. I want what's right for me. So for some of you, this means going back inside yourself too. Now you've made this decision. And I feel like a lot of you have already done this hermit energy in trying to understand your value, your place in the world, what you deserve, how to bring balance in, how to find, you know, equality. I feel like some of you could have lost someone and it's been really difficult to cope with a passing. So my condolences there, but I definitely feel like it's that for some of you. For others of you, you've walked away from relationships. You've walked away from situations that don't serve your higher good. You could have severed family members. Oh, not in a physical sense, sorry. Don't murder anybody, but you might feel like it. But you actually feel to me like you've just made this decision now to leave the negativity behind and move forward. There is a Two of Cups here. So it may have been that a lot of you have given this away because you want to move towards somebody, or you may not know who that person is. So it may be that you've done this in your life now to understand that you want to have love in your life, and you knew you needed to get your life in order to be able to move towards love. Now, somebody said to me before, because I was talking about this card being It's about relationships. It's about soulmate relationships. And somebody said, no, it's not. It's about love. No, it's not. It's about soulmate relationships. And soulmate relationships can be love at any sort of level. They can be a relationship between you and a partner in business. They can be a relationship between you and your mother, your father, you know, somebody in your life, your best friend. A soulmate isn't necessarily someone you have a romantic relationship with. It can be someone you have a relationship that is based in love. Soulmates aren't here always to have romantic relationships with us. They're part of our soul family, and that can be on any level. So be open-minded here, because this could be about anybody that you've had a connection with in your life that is part of your greater soul family. And then we have the Ace of Wands. So there's a new start coming in here. Now I have to go a bit quicker because I'm actually taking a lot longer with this reading, and I want to today. I feel like I have a lot of messages to bring in today. Now the Ace of Wands talks about a new start here. It talks about a passionate new start. Now I feel like with all this happening here and all this tidying up of your life and pulling things together, getting rid of the negativity, understanding you need structure, having hope, all these things, including this new energy of the Empress in wanting to birth something and move forward. The Ace of Wands is coming in to say that they're giving you a new start here because there's a journey you need to go on. So you're moving forward very quickly. The Seven of Cups comes in after this. Now, this is a card of a lot of different things. It can be illusion, delusion, choices, confusion. In this particular one, I'm thinking they're telling you that you have a lot of opportunities in front of you. But don't become confused about it, because this energy here, and I can feel it because I feel so hyped up and energetic. So I know how some of you are feeling. But what it feels like to me is almost don't go out and start getting into a lot of different things because you're feeling pumped, you're on this high. So just be a little cautious not to get confused by opportunities that are offered to you that aren't necessarily the right ones. Now at the top of the game here we have the King of Swords. Now the King of Swords, I love the King of Swords. Could be a Libra, Aquarius or Gemini, so it could be a person. But to me this feels like your energy now. You've got your sword held high and you're bustling forward, ready to move ahead with this like determination and energy. It's just a beautiful reading, I tell you. I feel like I want to go and do this myself now, so it's given me a really big pump of energy for first thing in the morning. So beautiful, beautiful reading, people. Okay, quick card from this deck. Okay, nothing wants to come out. Come on, Spirit, let the card come out. Nope. Oh, we've been very choosy. Oh, there it is, choosy today. Sacrifice, 35. So reading from the book until I get to know these. I'm not a big fan of doing this, but I feel like with starting my new job, I've had so little time to do things. Okay, it would be handy if I read the card and not the page, wouldn't it? 35, here we are. Okay, your compassion, heart and empathy will grow as a result of the sacrifice you are now being asked to make. And I said to you, I felt like you'd made some sort of sacrifice back here. Not by another, but by your own soul. So you're strong enough to do this, but you have never known for sure because you've never put yourself to the test. Now you will, because we have this Ace of Wands here, and you will see how strong you truly are. Beautiful, beautiful reading. Oh my goodness, these cards are just gorgeous. Have a look at them. That's the card of sacrifice. Oh, heartbreaker. Thanks everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.